winner-take-all games. These guys have a ton of experience, and we've been leaning on guys like Dewey and Sid, amongst many other guys with championship experience. So they've been huge, and I think really I think that goes a long way for our group.
Has there been a moment or a piece of advice that they've shared that you've really soaked in?
I think just the mannerisms, and for example, yesterday's game. Obviously, we need to win that game in regulation to secure a spot in the final, and everyone's focused, everyone's ready to go. But you just see whether it's Marshy or Sid or Drew, professionalism, but also they're relaxed but focused. So I think that radiates throughout the group.
How much are you talking to your teammates about ways to expose Connor Hellebuyck?
I think this question's been asked to me a bunch. Shot on him basically every day for the last 10 years, and I don't really have a go-to shot figured out on him. He's an amazing goalie, and I think it's all the same things you talk about whenever you're playing a great goaltender. I mean, trying to get traffic and get in a goalie's vision, be around the front of the net for rebounds and stuff like that, make it more difficult on him. But he's an amazing goalie and played great against us, last Saturday. So we'll need to do all those things that, like I said, you would try and do with any goalie that's great or playing really well.
But are guys asking you about him? Like some shooters coming up to you and saying,
a little bit, but not a ton. I mean, I think. Listen, there's guys with a lot more goals in the locker room than I have, so they know what they're doing, and so I would say just a little bit, but not much.
As a guy who plays in front of him so often, how much do you guys focus as a group of defensemen on just clearing away the rebounds, knowing he's going to get the first one?
Yeah, I mean, playing in front of him my entire career basically has been, obviously. Outstanding. He makes us look good in Winnipeg and makes our team. He's a massive part of our team. So, I think that's something we focus on a lot. Obviously, with whether it's Helly or any goalie you're playing in front of, is trying to clear rebounds and allow the goalie to see the puck. If these top goalies can see the puck, it's pretty hard to score on. So. Again, kind of to my prior answer, I think that's what you try to do offensively against great goalies is get to the front of the net and make that job to see the puck more difficult.
In light of Saturday's game against the U.S., do you feel like, where would you say that physicality will come into play in the outcome of that game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a really physical, intense game. Most exciting game I've ever been a part of this past Saturday. So, I think both teams. The way they play fast, play physical. It's going to be intense. Obviously, discipline is key in big games like that. So, I assume it's going to be physical. It's going to be intense. Both teams will want to set the tone early, but again, in a championship game like that, you have to stay on the right side of that line.
Josh, you go back to the players on the team USA were just talking about how Charlie McAvoy might be the reason that they're playing you guys in the final. What's your reaction when you heard that he would be in the lineup?
Yeah, obviously he's had a great tournament. He's a great player. So, I guess just obviously, when anybody gets injured, that's not something you want to see. Like I said, he's had a great tournament, and they'll adjust, and just like every team does.
Played against Cale McCarr in the playoffs. His ability to get pucks through traffic and layers. How pivotal is that in the opportunity to create offense?
Yeah, I mean he's amazing at it. I was talking about it after the game last night. His ability to walk the line and get shots through is probably the best in the NHL. I mean, his wrist shot, snapshot, however you want to call it, is so lethal. We see it a lot, obviously, when we play them, and see it in the summer skating with them. So it's definitely a special talent, something that I think all the other D-men try to learn from him on that. But he's lethal with that, and every time he gets it up there, 5-on-5 or on the power play, he's a real threat, and can score from distance, which is tough to do in the NHL.
How much does he change this match?
Yeah, I mean he's best defenseman in the NHL, and so I think for us having that boost of him coming back into our lineup is absolutely massive, and he's a game breaker. Obviously, you see his offensive ability and skill and all those things, but he's also just a very steady defenseman. I don't think he gets enough credit for that in terms of his defending, breakouts, ability to control the game, in different areas. So it's an absolutely massive add back into the lineup, and we saw that yesterday.
Josh, you grew up watching Sidney Crosby. What's it like to share a locker room, share a moment, seeing him go through his process in these big moments? I mean, you obviously would have probably expected some of it, but what's it been like seeing it up close?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, I hadn't had the chance to play with Sid at any events prior to this tournament. It's at first, I think, walking in the locker room, trying to not to pinch yourself a little bit. And as the week's gone on, you get more and more just comfortable. And now I think at this point, you find yourself, just playing with your teammates like anybody else. But what he's done this week and what he's done throughout his career, it's incredible, right? There's no words really to describe it. And, it's a huge honor to be able to play with him, and, certainly just being around him, the way he carries himself, how professional he is, it's something to behold. And certainly, like I said, what he's done this week is, incredible. The level of play that he's at this point in his career, it's amazing, and a huge reason why we have a chance to play in the final.
Josh, you've been an all-star. I'm curious, a lot of people are saying, how do we go back to that after having an event like this in the middle of the season? What are your thoughts on maybe those two things coexisting in the league?
Yeah, I mean, different event, obviously. I think, I don't remember any fights in the All-Star games or hits like that. So, anytime anybody, whether it's Team Canada, U.S., Sweden, Finland, the other nations, in the future, if there's more playing in these events, when you put on your country's uniform, it just means something special. It's a different feeling, and you can't replicate that in any other way. So, there's definitely, I think, a place to have both, and I think from what I've heard, that's the plan, in the future. And I think both can be exciting, but this event has been something special, and I think you've seen that with the way the fans, have really embraced it, and how can you not with the level of play and intensity that we've seen out here. So that's a credit, obviously, to the players, credit to the NHL, and it's been special to be a part of.
Some of the antics there to start that first game against USA, whatever, setting a message, setting a tone. Do you anticipate maybe not the same thing, but something similar could happen on Thursday?
Yeah, I think you have to be prepared for anything, obviously, in a U.S.-Canada matchup. As I said before, I think that, in a winner-take-all game, the margin for error is so slim. Discipline is key. So, the intensity will be there. Both teams will want to set the tone, early on, obviously, with carrying the play, physicality, all of those things. I'm not exactly sure how it will play out. I think that's why everyone's so excited to tune in on Thursday night. But, I'm sure it'll be a fiery affair. And, again, it's just, it'll be key to, the line is so thin between winning and losing in those games. The teams are so close. So, like I said, both teams will be coming out ready to go.
Binnington's won a cup in his role. I'm wondering how you think that experience going into.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's going to draw on that experience, obviously. I thought he's played absolutely outstanding for us in this tournament. Made big saves when he's needed to. He's been solid, and, I'm sure he'll draw on those memories of winning a cup here and the confidence that would bring to any player and those positive memories. So, like I said, he's been outstanding, and, can't wait to see his game on Thursday.